Welcome back to Poetry and Police. Before I say anything, as usual, I must say shout out to all my subscribers, shout out to my viewers, my listeners, shout out to the new subscribers. Big up to all the police officers in Jamaica, the good, decent police officers in Jamaica, and all the good law-abiding citizens in Jamaica who are trying their best to make Jamaica a better place and who are interested in making Jamaica a better place. As you know, on this channel, we don't deal with any form of corruptions. We don't support people who are corrupted. We don't support, especially police officers who are corrupted. We don't support politicians who are bent on deforming the structure of Jamaica in any way. And we do not support any form of corruption from anybody whatsoever. Today, my topic is a very serious topic. And as usual, I talk about what affected me personally as a policeman and the things that I've been through as a policeman. Now listen to me. I want you to listen to me carefully. I have worked with many police officers, and most of these police officers, I found them to be very good, decent police officers, not corrupted, and police officers who could not be corrupted. And I have to big up some of those police officers like Corporal McCoy, good, great policeman, Sergeant Roden, Inspector Gunter, Christopher Porter, the creator of the Jamaica Young Police channel. Big up to Christopher Porter. And as my subscribers, some of my subscribers, you can go over to his channel, Jamaica Young Police channel. Subscribe to his channel. Zoom in and zone in and listen to what he has to say, because he has nothing but great things to say. Like I said, I big up the good police officers in Jamaica. And I believe it's my job as a police officer, consider myself a good police officer when I was working, to tear down the bad apples in the Jamaica Constabulary Force, to rip them out of the organization, no matter where they are rooted in. Because let me tell you something, the wicked, old thief, criminal police, they are rooted more than the good police officers, Because guess what? They have the support and the backing of the criminal sub-officers, the criminal leaders in the Jamaica Constabulary Force. May I tell you that, the criminal so-called leaders, the untouchable leaders, they have friends in high places where nobody can touch, and who feel like them can disrespect a junior police at any time and transfer you to anywhere at any time and talk to you any kind of way they want to talk to you. They feel like they are untouchables, and like a police said to me one point, these men believe that the job is theirs. Like the job belong to them, like the Jamaica Constabulary Force belong to them. Them feel like they are invincible in the Jamaica Constabulary Force. So now it's time that all of you people, it's not a bandwagon, it's a movement to rip and rid the Jamaica Constabulary Force of these type of officers who are derailing the young men in the Jamaica Constabulary Force and who are recruiting the young men in the Jamaica Constabulary Force to be criminals, to extort people and to rob people and to even murder people. To enough of these senior officers, and I talk against them. I am not talking about no constable and no corporal and no sergeant and sometimes not even inspector, but them senior officers who feel like the Jamaica Constabulary Force belong to them. And nobody can challenge them, because guess what? If you think you're bad as a junior rank, go report one of these officers' actions to another officer and you swamp to. You might end up dead or transfer. The best thing will happen to you, transfer to a far place. Or you get no more promotion for the rest of your life again, because they make sure call them friend and tell them, say, listen me, Blake of this. I was charged in Montego Bay, and after I was charged in Montego Bay, and fake charges or trumped up charges, what they might call it, man, make case for me, and I won my case, and I was transferred to Consett Spring. The flying squad, then I was transferred officially to Consett Spring Police Station. And I remember when I arrived at Consett Spring the first morning and went to Mr. Thompson, good man. I hail that man, good, clean policeman, officer. I went to him. He said, Blake, listen, before you reached here, a phone call reached before you. And the person on the phone said, listen, he did not tell me who was on the phone, but he was another officer. on the phone that called Mr. Thompson and said to him, Blake a thief, put him a selfie work. Mr. Thompson looked at me face to face and said, Blake, listen, let me tell you something, Blake. I knew what happened at Montego Bay, and I know how deep the corruption runs in Montego Bay, and I know what happened to you, because everybody know that you're being set up. So listen me, Blake. What I heard about you as a good policeman at Hunts Bay and the work that you were doing at Hunts Bay, listen, just go in the CIB, go on a team, and do what you do best. That is what Mr. Thompson told me. So enough respects to Mr. Thompson for not believing the criminals, for not believing those serpents that are in the Jamaica Constabulary Force, call themselves senior officers, because all them do is support corruption and tear down good police. You understand? But listen, after I started working at Constant Spring, went in the CIB, I was attached to a team. First thing an officer approached me. You know, Brian approached me and said, Blake, listen, most of these people in here, you know, they're accepting of you because you have a name and them say you're shot and you're top police. So them receive you good, gladly. But if you was a idiot police, them that disrespect you and nobody wouldn't want to work with you. But because you're up there, your name out the road, then everybody want to work with you. Anyway, I was attached to a team. And trust me, I regret the day I was attached to that team, the first team. I was working in a police by the name of Lewis. Top of the line police. Anywhere you're there, Lewis, big up yourself. Good police. You understand? Anywhere you're there in the world now, big up yourself. Good police. Constable Lewis from Constant Spring, CIB. Me I tell you that. Brian, big up yourself. Let me tell you this. After I was attached to the CIB, I was on a team with a corporal by the name of Ashman. Let me tell you something, people. That are the worst thing could have happened to me as a policeman. I have worked with a whole lot of policemen, and by a long shot, trust me, these are the worst team I was ever on in my whole entire life as a policeman. Because let me tell you, you see Ashman, that brother there, the man is so bare face when he do him thing. Like, it's like the man don't care who want know say he might do some idiot thing, he might do some corrupted things, he might do some the man no hide when he might do nothing. Like the man just so bare face, me I tell you, Ashman, a corporal. The man is so bare face when he might do him things. Like him not care, him just showing your face, he might do your thing and you can't say nothing about it, because guess what? He man untouchable, you can't do nothing. I saw the thing go on. You understand? Apart from when the man fire 6 shots off of the police vehicle tonight and them release the man without any charge. You understand? That are what the first thing happened to me with him. Second thing, I gotta tell you what happened to me with the one Ashman now. And I tell you, say, it break my heart, you know. But I nobody say nothing, because guess what? I'm new in the division. I don't want nobody kill me or, you know what I mean, start write me off in the place, because I'm new in the place. But the second thing what this corporal did to me, we were on the road one day. As a matter of fact, we were in office and we got some information that something about a Honda Civic motor car. So we proceeded to a place along Constant Spring Road, a car sales place. A place who values cars. And we went down there. There was a young man there by the name of Chin. And you will know who is Chin after when the story progresses. And when we reached down there and we got information and we look at the car in question, soon as I looked at the car, I immediately knew which car was that. Now, people, let me tell you this. If you live in Kingston, some cars used to drive around with some Honda Civics, well soup up, look good, hot cars, rims and the works. But they were advertising the cool cigarettes. And it was probably about 3, 4, 5 Honda Civics doing that. People, all of these cars were seized and were down by the flying squad when I was temporary by the flying squad. And they were all stolen motor vehicles. All stolen motor vehicles. But no matter how you change these cars, they can be identified by the rim that is on it and by the whole skirting, the whole design of the car. how them soup up the cars. Because this guy Chin, him have a, you know, everybody have them signature. So he has a signature way how he does cars. So he was doing those cars and advertising the Cool cigarettes on the cars. I understand that he lost the contract with Cool Cigarette after it was found out that all the cars were stolen. And my observation is very keen. I see things and I remember things. So soon as I looked at this Honda Civic, I knew it was one of the Cool Hondas. So I said to Ashman, listen, this is one of the Cool Hondas, them, you know. Right away. So we went to the gentleman who was selling the car, which is Chin, this Chinese guy. And I told him straight up, so this is one of the Cool Hondas and this is a stolen car. And it has to be a stolen car. Because I know this car was at Flying Squad. Ashman said, you know what? Let's take the car to the lab, the forensic lab, to check if the car is stolen. On the way to the lab, with me and Ashman in the car, and the youth named Chin was in the car too. As Chin, I know him as, I don't know his first name or whatever, but I know his name is Chin. Well, whilst we were traveling towards the lab, about say, probably 10 minutes from the lab, the young man just came out and said, officers, the car hot. So I remember Ashman said to him, hey, see a blow, man, what do you mean by car hot? He said, car hot, man. And I said, Blake, you feel hot? He said, no, I don't feel hot. Car cool, you see a blow. I said, officer, when I say hot, me mean, the car hot, me mean, yeah, it's a stolen car. Some say, yeah, the car is stolen. So I said to him, yeah, I know the car is stolen. I know this is one of the Cool Hondas, them. You understand? And he said so he started telling us what happened. He said, listen, this car, all those cars, I buy them for, I don't steal any cars. I buy these cars for like $30,000. So when the guys steal, whether them steal, rob, or whatever, how they get the cars, I buy them back for $30,000 from these guys. And I get a chassis number from a crash car, and I would use that chassis number from the crash car to put it on cut out the chassis number, these cars to put in that crash car's chassis number, and me have my links in the tax office and wherever we can get the relevant documents for this car. So yes, officers, this car is a stolen car. I bought it for $30,000. I put in the chassis number in this car and I papers up this car. And right now I'm selling it for $680,000. He went further by saying, listen, I will give you guys $400,000 from the $680,000 what I'm selling the car for. All I have to do is just let me go and let me sell the car. So I said to him, no sir, where you come from with that? None of that but around here. So Ashman agreed and said, nah man, you know, we don't do them things, man. Anyway, we went to the lab. After we went to the lab and the car was checked, yes, the car was proven to be stolen based off of the chemical that they sprayed on the chassis number to find out that yes, it was tampered with. So, upon acquiring all of the information now to prove our case now, remember, he was the one who got the information. Technically, it's not my case, it's his case. So if he want a statement from me for back up how the car came to our position and how the guy was arrested, then I would corroborate him on that, because technically it's his case, because him got the information. By the time we went to Constant Spring Police Station with the guy and the car, Ashman parked the car in the car park. And let me tell you something, my friends. This police did not say another word to me. The guy was sitting in the office, and the next thing I was sitting in the office, the next thing I knew, he went to, I don't know where he went, but he left it. Ashman left the office. And when he came back, a bail bond, I see him come with, and give the man bail in his own surety for a stolen motor vehicle. And not even just a stolen motor vehicle, people, but this man was selling a stolen motor vehicle. So apart from being in unlawful possession of property, because that you would have to charge him for it, unlawful possession of property for the stolen car, he was also selling the vehicle. And he had documents for the vehicle. So therefore you had more than one count of fraud. And you have forgery too, because tampering the chassis number is forgery. You understand me? And he was uttering forged documents, over 3 counts of forged documents, because the title forged, the registration forged, the insurance was forged, everything on the car was forged. The very, down to the very fitness on the car was forged. So he had, and that, you cannot get your own bail for that. There's no way a man can get him own bail for that. So Ashman give the man his own bail. And right there, some realized what was going on. And he did not say anything to me. The man just dry eye and do him thing. Next thing I know, the car missed from the station. I didn't ask no question, because like I said, we just come there. But I feel uncomfortable working with the man at that point. Well, the thing happened before that with what I spoke of before. So, next thing that happened, I was at the halfway tree court. Like a week later, and Bigger Ford attacked me. Bigger Ford attacked me, and this was Bigger Ford words to me. Hey, you and that boy Ashman with that boy chin and that stolen car, when I go to prison, when I go lose the work. When I go lose the detective, when I go lose the work. That Bigger Ford said to me. So I said to Bigger Ford, listen, what are you talking about? Because I don't know what I'm doing with this guy. Is Ashman case? He said that you and Ashman involved in it. So you see, Ashman put me in trouble one more time to lose my work again. So I said to Bigger Ford, listen, this is how I shut up Bigger Ford. I said, listen, Bigger Ford, that's one of the cool Hondas. And that was seized by flying squad, and that was parked down by your base. So how did Chin get back that car? How did Chin get back that car? And the car was stolen because it was at flying squad at one point. A matter of fact, 4 of them. So people, that's how the one Ashman deal the case. And the man was so barefaced with the thing and dry eye with the thing. It's like the man don't even care. It's like the man just do him thing. Just like when the guy slapped 6 shots off of the police vehicle and we go at the station. Same way, him just talk to Meveral and the next thing you know, everything good, man. Understand? That's how Ashman deal with the thing. Ashman was untouchable, brethren. And Ashman do some things, and there's more things that police do to me. But I am going to only talk about the things that he did that could have put me in prison for what he was doing. And make people was looking at me as being corrupt and me a cell case and this and that. Understand? And this video is getting too long, so I'm going to make a part 2 where I'm going to tell you the other 2 things that this police did to me again, this criminal police, And at the same time, people, I'm a corporal, he's a corporal, he got sergeant. Even though investigation was being run and the man him still get sergeant. And when he died, he was said to get inspector. Even though investigation was being run on this man, Because guess what? I'm have Godfather in them pocket. And everybody have benefit from what Ashman was doing. Everybody eat food from what Ashman was doing. In senior officers, them who in charge of him was eating food. You understand? I saw the thing set with Ashman. That the man, they are the most corrupt police me ever work with in my life. And the thing about it, I used to meet the man at court, and he was one of the police that had most of the arrests before the court, He was the only police in court who could compare to me when it comes to arrest. Yes, I had more recovery of firearm than him, but he had a whole lot of cases too that could match up to my arrest rate. So I thought this man was 100% good police, not knowing that them man do arrest just to make money, just to sell the cases them. Because I was getting all my convictions, and how much conviction him get? Most of his cases were sold out. The man was arrested, but then white go. That is how Ashman operated. And he was being facilitated by his senior officers. Me I tell you that. In all the things them what him do. So he did not care about who wants to see what him do. Because the way him deal with me, he never care. He not care if me say what him corrupt or not. Or if me want to report his actions or what, because him not care, because I say, him can't do nothing. That is how the man roll. Me I tell you people. So listen, I'm going to talk about part 2, because this will get too long now, So I'm going to tell you people what happened next after this. Tune in for part 2.